Hi, Dale. Thank you so much for joining us. It's lovely to see you, even though you're down in Esperance tonight. But you know, Zoom and the internet have made these things so easy these days that we can actually just sit and feel like we're having a coffee together.
Yes, yes. Well, we are, aren't we?
We are. Oh, cheers. So, Dale, thanks for joining us. You're with the Shire of Esperance, is that right?
Yes, I've been there 2.5 years. So I was rather a mature first timer, which is a little bit unusual, but we had a few problems down here that I wanted to be involved in, and so that made me decide to stand for election.
That's interesting. Yeah. So specific issues that you wanted to run for. It's not that you've been thinking about being on council all your life for a long period of time.
No, I used to get annoyed sometimes at some of the decisions council made, and I finally realised the only way I can stop that annoyance is to get on there myself and either do something or shut up.
Well done. You know, so many people just complain and never actually stand up and try and fix it. So good on you. I'm so glad somebody has, you know, done that. It's always easy to sit on the sideline and make comments and put, you know, commentary, but to actually get up and try and do something about it. Good on you. So you were elected in, so what was it, 2017 is my assumption. Yep. And how many new councillors were elected in that election for Esperance?
5.
About half of the council?
Yes. We did 5. I'm just trying to think if one got re-elected. 3. Must have been 4 new ones. One was re-elected, and then last year 4 went up. No, sorry, I'm wrong. 4 went up in 17, 5 went up in 19, and we got 5 new ones. So we've got 4 new ones in 17 and 5 new ones in 19.
So you're almost a brand new council.
Wow. This town does not forgive councillors who don't follow what they want, and we've done this before. We just kick our councillors out.
And how did you find settling in on council when practically half of your councillors were new? How was that process the first few weeks and couple of months?
Very difficult. I was very fortunate in that I asked somebody else to stand at the same time, and she was also elected. So having someone there with me who was also brand new did help. And of course, we did our diploma in local government. That sort of gave us the information that we needed to be more effective then.
Okay, yeah, that helps if you've got somebody almost like a friend that's going through the same things as you. And subsequently, have you found your feet, I assume, after 2.5 years? How long would you say did it take you to sort of feel settled in the role?
Probably about 18 months. Yeah, others have said it takes about 2 years. It's not until the second half that you feel. But we were there by about 18 months, I think. We were starting to feel our feet and make an impact. Because you don't really have a lot of impact to begin with.
Yes, no, it's almost like being in the deep end of the swimming pool. You're literally swimming through packs and packs of pages that you've got to read through and try and figure out where do you fit in amongst all of this, basically. Some people have had some experience with local government before, either worked for them or been involved in some other shape or form, and then some councillors are brand new and they don't know anything. So did you have an idea of council? You said there were issues that you weren't happy with, but what was your grasp before you came on council, and how is it different now being in the role than what you had initially thought?
We're very hamstrung in a lot of ways because of the laws. Not allowed to say things that we would like to say. I can get out and I say, well, if a council did this, my opinion is that, but I never. Of course, we can't speak for council, and it gets a little bit difficult trying to work out how to actually say something when you're asked a direct question. But apart from that, I think we've got used to it. We're sort of in the swing, and when people ask, well, it just rolls off now, whereas it took a while.
Yes, you learn how to answer those tricky questions. Almost like a politician sometimes, as they say. I don't like to think of ourselves as politicians, but other people do refer to us. That brings me to another question. Is the Shire of Esperance very politically driven? Or I know in Western Australia, overall, there's a sense that local government or politics doesn't have a place in local government. Do you feel that that's the same for where you are from?
Now this is where I can get myself into trouble.
Don't just answer the politician ways.
It's a very conservative area, extremely conservative, and I'm not of conservative thought or persuasion politically. So that has been difficult. Yes, it is very, very politically driven here. As an example, because these people aren't on council or even on staff anymore, we had the Premier visit us and he wasn't even offered a drink. And he was coming down to give us money and we did not feed him or water him. So that's
sad, yeah, because it needs to be apolitical. Well, that's my view as well. I believe council needs to be apolitical. Dale, how long out before you ran for council did you start your campaign?
Oh, probably just prior to the writs being called, or the election actually. They're not like virtually they had called for nominations, and I spoke to Shelley Payne and suggested that we run. It took her a few days. She said, "Rightio." So we nominated, and that was it.
So did you do a big campaign in that period of time?
We were the first two from Esperance to ever door knock. People on council did not door knock. And so we would be walking around the streets and different people would say, well, you're the first person who has ever knocked on my door for council. I have never had a councillor near my house.
Wow, that's interesting. It certainly seems to be the way that things are going. That's what I'm hearing from most councils, is that those councillors who do tend to get in now have started door knocking. I think probably the competition is getting a bit harder than what it used to be in the past. There were a lot of people who were elected unopposed in the past, and now maybe it's with the help of social media that people are becoming more involved and interested in local government, and perhaps realizing that they can make a difference and they can help others and putting their hands up. So you've got to start walk the walk and talk the talk, I guess, and tell people why they should vote for you.
Well, what I have found is that it's the little things that people are worried about. When I drive along the street, I can't see the traffic coming because of these trees. So we can get something done about that almost immediately, and they just are so relieved. And so they're the little things that we can do on council. They're not so, they get annoyed when rates are increased too much, but they're not really concerned about the big things. And if you can go down, do your shopping, and somebody says, oh, this needs to be done, can you make an inquiry or let me know what's happening? Yeah, rightio, and you can get that fixed for them. It's a wonderful feeling because you're just making life that little bit easier for the average person.
Yes, it does make you feel good at the end of the day when you can go to bed and think, I changed somebody's life a little bit for the better.
Yes.
So what do you feel? Sorry, you were saying?
No, it's all right.
So what do you feel has been the best thing for you so far about being on council?
Knowing what's happening and being able to have an influence. I just even at the moment, I'm chair of the recovery subcommittee for COVID, and being able to get in there and stop it from being a talk fest and push so that something is actually done. So they're the sort of things that I like to do. I'm more or less a hands-on people person rather than facts and figures.
And the worst thing for you?
Our jetty got pulled down.
The what? Sorry?
Our jetty got pulled down.
Oh, no.
Yes, we had an 84-year-old timber jetty that we were fighting to save, and that was one of the issues I wanted to fight for, but it just wasn't to be. I would have needed to be on council 2 years earlier to be able to save.
Mm. And how do you find juggling council work with life in general? I assume your family is old enough that they're not living with you anymore?
No, it's only my husband and myself. And my husband's very relaxed about what I do, so he doesn't growl too much. Like tonight, today I had a meeting, a recovery committee meeting, and then I raced home. I got his dinner and fed him. Well, that doesn't sound very nice, does it? I threw his meal in front of him. Then I went out to a tourism meeting and left that early to come home to this. But that's great. I love it. I feel as though I'm active and I have a role in society, a role in life. Because I think it doesn't matter how old we get, we all need to be needed. And that's how I'm feeling.
Yes, absolutely. Young, old, we all need to find, to feel that way, because I think it makes you feel grounded in life and that you have a purpose. That really helps for me. Yeah. And Dale, if there are some of our viewers that are considering running for council as women, what would you say to them?
Go for it. Go for it. Find someone first before you actually nominate. Find someone who can give you a little bit of information. Go to council meetings so that you know the general rules and regulations governing meetings, because they are very formal and you must do things a certain way. And then go for it, because it is so vitalising. And you just do feel so much more vital when you're there making a difference and doing things that you normally wouldn't do. I talked another lady into standing last year, and she said she's really got into it. She loves being there, and she said, I've never had such an active social life, because all these functions that we attend, we're there really to find a few things out, but it is a social event. So yeah, she's loving it.
Yes, absolutely true. You get invited to so many things as a councillor. And one thing that for me, that's a really good perk of being a councillor is the fact that you now know about everything that happens in your area, because suddenly people start reaching out to you and telling you about, did you know that our organization does this, and could you come and help us cut the ribbon for that, or whatever it might be. And suddenly you realize there's so much happening around you which you were blissfully unaware of before being a councillor, or that was the case for me.
Well, if something happens in town, you think, oh yeah, so that's happened, but now we know it's going to happen, and that's the difference. Yeah.
Absolutely, know before the others know about it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Dale. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Do you have any parting thoughts that you would like to leave our viewers with?
Parting thoughts? Oh golly, it'll take me a while to think about that, because there's so many parting thoughts. I just think that local government, of course, is the tier of government that is closest to the people. It is far more personal than state and federal politics. So, if you like people, for goodness sake, join council. You will learn so much and you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy getting to know people and getting to know what's happening around you. It wakes you up. So
it does. Absolutely. Great words. Thank you very much, Dale. Appreciate your time. It's been an absolute pleasure. And hopefully we can follow your journey along as you stay within council for at least another 4 terms. And maybe get a new jetty for Esperance. Who knows?
Oh no, we're getting one. I won't talk about one.
Okay, we'll look at the photos of the old one. Oh, have a lovely day, and talk to you soon again.
And I hope your little boy settles down.
Oh, thanks, Dale. Goodbye.
Good night.